5 days before Night of Champions, where John Cena will defend this undisputed WWE Championship against CM Punk, and the 2025 King and Queen of the Ring will be crowned. Raw hit the Netflix airways with a packed episode as we built towards the show. And yeah, like I say, there was a lot on it. And the show opened this week with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker. The Visionary claimed that he was responsible for Roman Reigns, that CM Punk was only back because WWE wanted to milk Rollins' hate for him, and that Cody Rhodes would not have been back if it was not for him. He said there are champions like Cena and Gunther who believe they're at the top of the business, but ultimately Rollins is the end game. There wasn't much in the way of new content here, but Rollins spoke with such conviction that it was an effective promo, that it was believable. The audience brought into what he has to say because he's delivered it with the passion of a man who knows what he was saying was gospel. Quality mic performances like that elevate any segment that was certainly to be the case on Monday night. Moving on then to Penta against Bron Breakker. WWE wasted little time getting to the in-ring portion of the show, transitioning from Rollins' promo directly into showdown between familiar foes Breakker and Penta. A competitive match picked up where the rivalries previously let off. Their contest captivated the audience in Columbus. Each combatant nearly scored the victory, with Penta having his best chance following a Mexican destroyer. Breakker they recovered and caught Penta a mid-flight spear, driving through the mat to score the pinfall victory. And after the match, Rollins warned them all to stay out of business. And like I say, a strong match. It had fans biting on near falls with high spots and close calls, an electric finish. It worked really well, and I think set up the biggest match of the night later on. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Moving on into a pre-taped interview with Michael Cole, where Goldberg discussed the disrespect world champ Gunther showed him at Bad Blood last October, and its role in bringing him back to the ring for one final match. He said he stewed over it, felt embarrassed, and was not willing to let the ring general's actions stand. Short, sweet, and to the point. This is a far better use of Goldberg than overexposing him ahead of his comeback on July 12th. Moving on into the Queen of the Ring semi, Jane Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. But before that, backstage, Balor attempted to rally the remaining members of the Judgment Day following news Liv Morgan will miss months of action following her shoulder injury. Roxanne Perez was also on the receiving end of Balor's motivational efforts, squaring off with Jade Cargill in the semi-final of the Queen of the Ring. A surprisingly competitive match that saw Perez target the injured left leg of her taller, stronger opponent for a large portion of the match, keeping Cargill grounded. As the Storm fought her way back into the contest, though, her power and fury proved too much for Prodigy. Cargill down to a powerbomb and then transitioned into the Jada for the win. A post-match stare-down between Cargill and Asuka served as the final hype for their Queen of the Ring final on Saturday. The match was not always pretty, but much like Breakker and Penta earlier in the show, this was still a solid contest with better than expected chemistry from the superstars involved. Perez shined in defeat while Cargill looked like a world beater in the Queen of the Ring final between Storm and Asuka in Saudi. Should make for a very fun contest. So yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. A fired-up Gunther then hit the ring to respond to Goldberg's words from earlier in the night and didn't mince his word. He criticised the veteran for being a one-trick pony, a wrestler who cannot hang with the best of them today, and vowed to embarrass him all over again at Saturday night's main event. It was an impassioned promo from Gunther that reflected the seriousness from which he's approaching the match, but also suggested the icon may be under his skin. It's not the first time Gunther's allowed that to happen, remembering back to WrestleMania 41, of course. Before we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Bayley and Becky Lynch, but before that, Karrion Kross antagonised Sami Zayn following his loss in Friday's King of the Ring semi, only to eat a hard right from him. Zayn informed Kross of their impending match made official by Raw GM Adam Pearce, and the self-proclaimed devil laughed in approval. Got him, he told Scarlett. Back in the arena, the long-time rivalry between Bayley and Becky wrote its latest chapter, with the women's IC title on the line. A physical, hard-hitting match saw Lynch take away Bayley's striking ability by targeting her right arm. The challenger surprised the champion, though, proving able to use her left arm to stun her opponent. Late in the match, the action spilled outside where Lyra buried Bayley under a pile of chairs. Lyra appeared, helping the challenger out of her predicament to ultimately allow her emotions to get the best of her. As Bayley scaled the ropes for her top rope elbow drop, Valkyria attacked Lynch, drawing a DQ and enhancing the issues that exist between her and the role model. Lynch celebrated a successful title match while waiting for two of her greatest threats bicker in the middle of the ring. An excellent match and ended unsatisfactorily, but it did further the ongoing storyline between the three of them and the IC title. So yeah, for me it worked well, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Raquel Rodriguez cost Rhea Ripley a spot in the Queen of the Ring tournament 2 weeks ago, so Mami returned the favour last week. Monday, Rodriguez called her long-time rival out, leading to chaotic brawl around ringside before Ripley could drive Rodriguez through a table, though Roxanne Perez attacked and cut momentum off. The women's tag team champ recovered and delivered her Taija bomb through the table, leaving the Eradicator lying. Ripley and Rodriguez appeared pulled for a match, kind of in the near future, and that's been confirmed to take place this weekend in a street fight. The segment has very much been there, done that, but it added elements to the Judgment Day storyline as well. So yeah, it worked well. But moving on into the King of the Ring tournament semi-final, Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso, the two most popular stars in WWE squaring off with this spot on the line, living up to the moment and delivering a PLE-worthy match full of dramatic near-falls and false finishes. Cody and Jey tore the house down in Columbus Monday night, en route to the American Nightmare cashing his ticket to Saudi for a date with Randy Orton. Rhodes overcame a barrage of super kicks and spears to catch Uso with a super Cody cutter from the top rope before finishing the former world champion off with a crossroads. This was everything that we wanted from this match, and both men worked well together. Felt like the final from the start, with plenty of teasers for that. Whether it's a one-off or the start of the Epic series, who knows? But yeah, the match is going to be great on Saturday. Can't wait for that. 8 out of 10 overall, and overall this week that's a 6 out of 10 for me. I thought, it's a pretty solid episode of Raw. On the whole, there were many highlights throughout, and I think it's kind of topped off by that really fun main event. Some bits maybe didn't hit the mark, but I thought on the whole it was a pretty strong show, and looking forward to the pay-per-view this weekend, presuming everything all goes down well.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.